Okay, today we will move to the module 4, that is embedded system design concepts. Okay, so let us see that is the contents of this module. So first here we are going to study the characteristics and the quality attributes of the embedded system, operational, non-operational, operational quality attributes, embedded system application, domain specific, where we are going to study the washing machine and the car as an example, and hardware software co-design and program modeling, and embedded firmware design and development, where we are going to study the various approaches for programming the your application, and also various models that are used in embedded system software design. So first we will see the characteristics and quality attributes of the embedded systems. So embedded systems are basically they are characterized as application and domain specific, reactive, real time, operates in harsh environments, distributed, small size and weight, power concern. Means application and domain specific means embedded systems are basically designed for particular application. For example, the embedded system which is designed to control the your micro oven cannot be used to control the your television, or say for example freezing machine. So therefore they are the application specific and they are domain specific. For example, if you manufacture a embedded system to control that is which is used in telecom domain, for example routers, switches, which use the processor to forward the packets, so which cannot be used in consumer electronics like your washing machines, or like in your led tvs, so where we can't use the embedded system. Therefore embedded systems are application and domain specific. So once we manufacture embedded systems for, please mute your audio, all of you please mute your audio. So embedded systems, once we manufacture in a particular domain for a particular application, cannot be reused. So that is first characteristics. Second characteristics is reactive and real time. So embedded systems, um, they are constantly, they are going to receive the inputs from the, or they are going to measure the variables through the input ports like sensors, and they generate the output which is sent to the your the plant through the that is that is through the uh, that is actuators. So therefore embedded systems are reactive in nature, means they continuously monitor the variable through sensors, and they are going to control those variables through actuators. For example, if you consider a that is boiler system where the water is heated and its temperature is maintained constantly, so where the temperature is measured continuously, pressure is measured continuously, and they are compared with the threshold level, and the temperature is controlled in order to control the pressure. So therefore they are reactive in nature, and they are real time. So real time means, in the same boiler example, if your embedded system fail to control the your pressure, temperature, okay, it may cause the damage or blasting of that boiler, or that is water heater. So therefore real time means the response of the embedded system for particular input should be within a specified time. So that is called real time. So next is operates in harsh environments. So embedded systems are usually deployed in dusty environments, and the environments where the very high temperature is there. So in such a situation, the design of the hardware should take care of the temperature, temperature specification of the components used. For example, resistance, capacitance, or it can be a transistor. They should be operated with a very high temperature. They should be operated. They should be capable of operating with a very high temperature. So next is distributed. So embedded system may not work alone. It may require um, the other components to work. For example, if you consider a automatic teller machine, like a ATM machine. So ATM machine is connected to the your bank server through the internet, and there may be very large number of ATM machines connected together. So in case of such a system, it is said to be distributed. Means embedded system may require the uh, information from the other systems also. Other systems like bank server has to send whenever a card is inserted. That card is scanned, then the information is sent to the bank server. So bank server responds whether it validates the card. Once that is validated, your ATM machine has to accept the amount. Then it has to communicate with the cash dispatching component or the part to dispatch the cash. Like that, your embedded system may not consist of only one system. It may be a connection of n number of such systems. Therefore it is called as a embedded system may also work have to work in a distributed environment. So next is distributed means one embedded system depends on the operation of the other embedded system or other system, computer system, or it can be a microcontroller, microprocessor based system. Next, embedded systems are characterized by the small size and weight. So usually embedded systems are manufactured to work with, that is, remote places. For example, if you consider a bus ticket printing machine. So bus ticket printing machine, if we carry a computer to print a that is your tickets in buses, so you can imagine what is the problem with that conductor of that bus. Okay, so therefore they are very small in size. Bus ticket printing machine is very small in size, and also is a must have a less weight. So therefore embedded system may also be manufactured to meet the requirements of small size and weight. So next is power. So power concept of embedded system is very important. Means the embedded systems may use various power saving modes in order to save the power whenever it is not working. So as in the same bus ticket printing machine, the bus has to travel for hundreds of kilometers. Then it must be in a position to retain the power for a that much of distance. So then power embedded systems uses the power saving modes in order to have a that is to retain the power, so according to the requirement of the application. So these are the various characteristics of the embedded systems. So next we will move to the quality attributes of the embedded system. So quality attribute means it is a measure of the performance and performance of the embedded system. So here there are two types of quality attributes. One is operational quality attributes and the non-operational quality attributes. Operational quality attributes are further classified into response, throughput, reliability, maintainability, security, and safety. Non-operational quality attributes are classified as testability, availability, portability, time to prototype, and market, and per unit and total cost. So first we will see the operational quality attributes. The first one is response. So response of a system can be defined as it is a measure of quickness of the system. So it gives the idea about how fast your system is tracking the changes in the input variable. So most of the embedded system demand the fast response, which should be in real time. So for example, like in case of that is flights. Okay, the in case of flights, suppose if the flight uh, come across any problem, so then flight that is security system has to embedded system has to respond, has to inform the driver or the pilot to immediately land that within the particular time. If it fails to inform or if it fails to take any such that is decision or the action within the time, then flight may get crashed. So therefore first performance parameter is response time. So such a systems are also called as such a embedded systems are also called as real-time embedded system. Means the embedded systems which are designed to respond within a with a real-time nature are called as a real-time embedded system. So next is the throughput. Throughput deals with the efficiency of the system. So usually it is measured in terms of number of units of products that are or batches that are produced by the your embedded system. For example, if we use an embedded system in case of any industrial application, so then the embedded system's throughput depends upon the number of products. For example, if can be a steel sheets produced, so the embedded system in such a case, the number of steel sheets that are produced measures the throughput, or number of batches of the products produced also represents the throughput of the embedded system. And the throughput of the embedded system should be high. Means embedded system should not fail to give the output, maximum output in a given span of time. So next is reliability. Reliability is a measure of how much percentage you can rely upon the proper functioning of the system. Means how much you can rely on that system. So this represents the less number of failures. So if you execute your program 100, if you attend the for example, if you try to take a money from the ATM machine 100 times, it must dispatch 100 times, then it's through its reliability is 100%. So if it fails sometimes, so then it is not said to be reliable. Next is every embedded system requires the maintainability. So maintainability deals with support and maintenance to the end user or the client in case of technical issues and product failures. Means if suppose your product fails, then there should be a proper maintenance. For example, if you purchase a mobile, so after certain time it will inform you to update the your operating system or update particular software, okay, in order to cope up with the advanced technology. Therefore every embedded system will be having a that is the maintainability. There are two types of maintainability. One is scheduled or periodic maintenance. Another one is maintenance to unexpected failure. So scheduled or periodic maintenance is mainly to look at the whether any parts of the embedded systems are that is degraded. Okay, they are not able to. For example, if you consider the printer, so printer cartridge may get over after certain time, then it has to be replaced. Corresponding internal any components is required to be replaced, then it must be replaced within the certain time, or its battery. Okay, so such a type of a maintenance is called as scheduled maintenance. Maintenance to unexpected failure means because of certain any damages. For example, if any the wires has been broken internally because of certain insects, so that may cause the unexpected maintenance or unexpected failure. Maintenance to unexpected failures. So here the maintainability should be very easy. Means it should not that is demand the must lot of maintenance. It should be maintenance free embedded systems. So next security. So security is a combination of three words. One is called as the confidentiality. Second one is the integrity and availability. So confidentiality means um, it deals with the protection of the data and the application from unauthorized disclosure. That means uh, your embedded system should be operate in a very secure environment with by securing the data from the unauthorized user. Next, integrity deals with the protection of the data and application from unauthorized modification. So means no, there should not be any right to modify your code or modify your embedded system easily by the unauthorized user. That is called integrity. And availability deals with the protection of the data and application from unauthorized user. That means means protecting, so nobody can steal the data if in from your embedded system. So that is called as security of the embedded system, and embedded system should be very much secure. For example, if you purchase a mobile phone, that mobile phone you have a lot of data. If suppose if it is connected to internet, if anybody steals your data, means your photos or your information, your account number, your passwords, okay, that what does it means, it will not, then we call that mobile phone is a not much secure. So that is called security. Next, safety. So safety deals with the harmness by that is harmness that your embedded system may cause to the society. For example, you have developed an embedded system to control the dropping of the missile. So in such a case, if suppose missile, if your embedded system fails 99 times and it gets parts in only one time means, okay, so it is not safe to be safe, because if your embedded system fail, a missile which is to be dropped on a target may drop on the citizens, which may kill the citizens. Okay, that is called safety. Means the harmness that your embedded system may cause to the citizens or the other world. Okay, is called as safety, and embedded system should be very much safe. Okay, means suppose if any embedded system fail to do its work means, then it must not cause any problems to the others. That is called safety. So these are the certain operational quality attributes. So next is non-operational quality attributes. So non-operational quality attributes deals with the that is attributes considered, or quality measures that are considered whenever it is not in operation. Means, so the in operational attributes, what happens when once we manufacture your embedded system and it is deployed in the or it is placed in the your plant, or placed in the place where it has to be used, then we consider these 6 attributes. Whenever we are developing your embedded system, then these non-operational quality attributes are considered. So first one is testability. So testability deals with how easily one can test uh, the design. Okay, and testability deals with both the hardware testing and software testing. So why we have to test your embedded system is whether it is operating or not, whether it is operating according to our design or not. For example, if I design an embedded system, okay, to control the temperature of a boiler for a threshold of, say for example, 50 degrees centigrade or 100 degrees centigrade. So then when the boiler temperature goes above 100 degrees centigrade, if it fails to that is reduce the temperature means, then it is not said to be operating according to us. So like that, tests on embedded systems are done in order to uh, perform a, that is in order to check whether it is operating according to our requirement or according to our specification. If you write for particular thing, it must operate according to that. Next is evaluability. So evaluability represents or it deals with the embedded product can be modified to take an advantage of new firmware and hardware technologies. Means uh, suppose your desktop system is installed with Windows 7. Now Windows 8 and Windows 9 or Windows 10 is available. Means your computer must work with Windows 10 also. So then it is said to be having a quality of availability. Means it must have a quality that it can be modified and it can work with the today's technology also. Next is portability. Portability is a measure of the system independence. A system is said to be portable if the product is capable of functioning as such in various environments: target, processor, controller, and embedded operating system. So portability means, suppose I develop a code So I can use that code on, for example, on your LPC 1768. So then it can be easily ported to another system like your previous systems like 8086 also, 8085 also. Like that, your whatever the software that is developed or the hardware should be capable of working with any environment. That is called portability, and your embedded system should be easily portable to any environment. Next, time to prototype and market. So time to market is the time elapsed between the conceptualization of the product and the time at which the product is ready for selling. Suppose if I plan today, I want to manufacture a particular embedded system. Say for example, if you consider a one mobile phone of latest version, so which must have a this much of camera, memory, like that. So that is a conceptualization. So when actually that comes to the market, that is the time between that conceptualization and the marketing or selling is called as the time to market. So here the concept of prototypes comes. Prototype means first we are going to have a blueprint of your product. So when we have a blueprint, means what are the features of that. So then how to that is achieve that. Okay, using the which
Yes.
architecture, which language we have to use. Based on that, this prototyping and marketing is decided. Next, last parameter is called as per unit and total cost. So every embedded system, that is, will be having a its own cost. Once we manufacture embedded system, we are going to sell n number of units. Okay, suppose n mobile phones I will want to sell. Uh, in such a case, what happens when it is brought to a market? So usually the person who purchases, means the user or consumer, is going to look for the features and the cost. So there must be maximum number of features, and cost must be less. So therefore the per unit cost and the total cost is also a very important that is parameter attribute when we manufacture the embedded systems. So these are the quality operational quality attributes and non-operational quality attributes of the embedded system. So here we have a explanation for individual titles. Okay, you can go through the textbook. Okay, we will that is have a definition of that, all these parameters. So next, in your syllabus, we have a embedded system application and domain specific. Means we are going to study two embedded system, which are one is application specific and one more is a domain specific. So here first embedded system, which is an application specific embedded system, is the washing machine. So let us see the uh, that is washing machine. So this is the diagram of the washing machine. So it is a, here we are going to study what are the different types of we consider this as a one embedded system, and we are going to study the uh, which are the parts of this embedded system which acts as an actuator, which acts as a sensor, like that. Okay, here it is a top loading embedded that is a washing machine. Means we have to that is place your clothes from the top. So you might have a experience, those who have a washing machine in your home. So in this washing machine, we have a, it is an embedded system, means it is controlled by embedded system. Why it is said to be controlled embedded system is it's a electromechanical system. Here electronics is going to control the mechanical that is components. So here if we see in the washing machine application, the actuator part is washing machine consists of the motorized agitator, tumble tub, water drawing pump, inlet valve to control the flow of water into the unit. Next, sensor part consists of the water temperature, sensor level sensor, and the control part contains the microprocessor based board with interfaces to the sensor and actuators, and the sensor data is fed back to the control unit. and the control unit generates the necessary actuator outputs. So here, this is the that is so here this is the tumble tub, okay, and this is the motor. So here at the top bottom of the tub we have a temperature sensor, body case, water outlet, water inlet, next level sensor. Here control panel will be provided. So the control panel look like this. It consists of the keypad. So it has a different buttons here. So start button to turn on the washing machine. Next to select the type of the cloth. So whether light cloth, medium cloth or heavy. Whether you have a usually washing machines comes up with specification as that is kg. That is for example 6 kg washing machine, 7 kg washing machine. So the means it is capable of washing that amount of cloth, means 7 kg cloth or 8 kg cloth, like that. Here, so light, if we have a few cloths to be washed, so you can go for a light mode. Next is um, medium mode, heavy mode. Next is whether washing, soaking or rinsing, okay. uh, Next is for how much time. So the we can press these buttons to select the our option, okay, and then we have to close this panel. So after that it will wash and it will that is make a sound, means a buzzer will be there that will make a sound indicating that that is your washing is over, so you can take the class, like that. So here where does your embedded system concepts comes is the whatever the control panel that we have is a user interface. So user will be provided this interface to control this entire operation of this washing machine through the your electronic component or electronic panel. So here what happens is, first you have to pour the water, okay, for particular level just above the amount of cloth. Then you have to put the washing powder, then you have to put the cloths, okay, then you have to set the timings, everything, okay, then you have to that is start washing the operation. uh, After that washing is over, okay, it will make a buzz sound indicating that washing is over. You can take the cloth and you can that is um, that is how this takes place, this operation takes place. Here the actuators, here we have to classify the actuators and the sensors. So there are different types of sensors here: level sensor, temperature sensor, which sense the temperature and the level of water in the washing machine. And we have a inner tub, outer tub. So inner tub will rotate, which is fixed with the motor, and outer tub remains same, okay, remains in the position. And inlet water is to fill the water into the washing machine. Outlet water is to take the water after washing the washing machine, after washing the your clothes. Like that this washing machine will work. So where does the concept of this application comes is, this washing machine is developed for only washing the clothes. So you can't wash say any other components, like you can't wash your utensils or you can wash any other things, okay. So it is only specified, and it is also a application specific. It is manufactured to wash the clothes. So like that, it is a one example of application specific embedded system. So next is another embedded system is automotive domain. Embedded system can also be used in automotive domain to control the that is to control the various that is components, parts of your car. So here the car is considered as a automotive domain application. So automotive domain device. So here what happens is, your car has a various parts which can be controlled automatically. So more the features, more the controls, more costlier will be the car. So here the components is divided into engine control, instrumentation, air conditioner, power steering, airbag, seat control, mirror control, power windows, fan control, headlamp controls, fuel injection control, ABS, wiper controls and suspension control. So in the centralized locking, so if we see if those who have a cars, you might have heard about the various features like power window. Power window means by pressing one button you can close the window and open the window. And central lock, by pressing the one button you can lock all the doors and you unlock all the doors. And also there is a central panel which shows the fuel level, pressure, that is tire pressure levels, and also any that is service is to be done. Everything will be shown, displayed on this in this car. Okay. Next, inside engine control, the fuel injection, everything can be controlled using the embedded system. So it is a complex system and also a distributed system for different things. Different things we are going to use a different systems. So these are, so one is high speed electronic control. High speed electronic control units are deployed in critical control using units requiring the fast response. This include fuel injection system, anti-lock braking system, and other electronic throttle, steering control, transmission control. So this is a one type of a unit. And low speed electronic control units are used in like your audio control, passenger, driver, door locks, door glass controls, etc. And there are three communication buses are used. One is control area network, and the event driven protocol interface with support for error handling. It is deployed in airbag control. And local interconnect network is used in that is mirror window and seat positioning, fan control, and media oriented system transport. This is used for audio and video equipments. Okay, these are the different communication buses used inside the your cars. So here, so in the car, so we are left with only 4 minutes here. So we'll finish off this. So in this car, what happens is your centralized embedded system will be there. Okay, it is a basically a distributed system. One system, one control units controls the engine parts. Another control user controls the mirror, window, and dicky opening, such features. And another system controls the audio, means your music system, and also a display system. So like that, there are n number of embedded systems. They work together in order to provide a service to the user for the comfortness. So more the features, more costlier will be the your car. Okay, so embedded system makes your that is car very comfortable, easy to use. And also it and also it will take the safety. For example, in airbags or anti-locking braking systems are very safety features that are mandatory today in cars to provide the safety to the users, that is car drivers or passengers. Okay, so next class we will see the hardware software co-design, means the different architectures that we are going to use in the designing of your embedded system. And also we are going to study the, that is language selection partitioning system according to the hardware and software requirements. Okay, so here, okay, in this so far we have studied the various that is characteristics, quality attributes, means measures of embedded systems. And we have seen two examples of embedded systems used in one is application domain, means application specific like your washing machines, and the domain specific in automotive domain, how the embedded system can be deployed to control various features. Like that, similarly, if you assume any particular embedded system, okay, suppose I want to find out a solution to the one problem, then I want to give that in terms of a embedded system. Means first you have to understand what are the requirements of that your problem, how the solution you are going to provide, how to select the hardware, how to select the software. Okay, how to that is program that using that software. These things we are going to study in this module, entire module. In that, basic examples are these two examples you are given. Next class we are going to see the programming models, okay, used in embedded system in order to program the your that is your software, and also selection of the hardware. Okay, everything we will see in the next class. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll close this session. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay, okay. I will close this session now. Any doubts? Hello. Do
No,
you
sir.
have any doubts? Tomorrow Jambukesh sir will take the class, I think. Okay. Otherwise, I will inform you by evening. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay.